So it always perks our curiosity here at GP Fans when we start thinking about how much drivers are getting paid. Of course, we all know that Max Verstappen is currently in possession of the biggest contract in Formula 1, and we know that drivers like Lewis Hamilton are doing pretty well for themselves as well. I'm Ollie Wilson at GP Fans, and here is GP Fans looking into how much drivers are earning in the 2023 season. Remember, if you want all of your F1 news and views, you can get onto gpfans.com or, of course, GP Fans Global across social media. And remember, if you like and enjoy the content, hit subscribe down below to stick with us for the rest of this season. But now, let's start looking at the dollar that people are earning on the F1 grid. The 2023 Formula 1 season is now 3 races in, and since the opening dance in Bahrain earlier this year, we've had a good indication of how much various drivers are being paid from their teams as this season has gone on. Since the 2021 campaign, Formula 1 has had a budget cap. This means that the teams are only allowed to spend a certain amount of money on car development. Try telling Red Bull that. This does not include, however, drivers' salaries, which means that some drivers, in particular those at the front of the grid, are still among the highest paid athletes in the world. However, determining how much a driver earns from his team is a little tricky. Bonuses, for example, are frequently included in contracts, providing the driver with an extra bag of money for certain performances. There is also income from personal sponsorships and other outside sources away from Formula 1. These are not, however, addressed in this video. So Max Verstappen placed his hand on one of the most lucrative Formula 1 deals in history in 2022. The Dutchman signed a contract with Red Bull Racing until the end of the 2028 season, making him the best paid driver on the grid, and as two-time reigning world champion, that's no real surprise. The title of highest paid driver on the grid was previously held by Lewis Hamilton, but with 37 million in the bank for his F1 deal, he's still doing pretty well. Verstappen's salary was initially set at $41 million after the contract was signed, but since then, several reports have surfaced that Verstappen's salary is now set at a whopping $50 million per year. Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton are the best paid drivers on the grid. As I say, that's no real surprise. Charles Leclerc rounds out the top 3 with a base salary of $24 million a year from Ferrari for the Monegasque driver. That's pretty nice as well if you're living in Monaco and you're not really paying much tax on that. Aston Martin's elder statesman Fernando Alonso earns $20.1 million, followed by Lando Norris at McLaren, who makes $20 million a year. Adding to that his streaming money, and Lando's also doing pretty well, as long as he can stay out of trouble and not flash his watch too much around the place when he's attending football games. The salaries are a little less top-heavy in the second half of the grid. For instance, Alfa Romeo driver Zhou Guanyu earns the same amount per season as the McLaren debutant Oscar Piastri. Nick de Vries, the new man on the grid for 2023, received a $1 million bonus from AlphaTauri, the same amount as Williams rookie Logan Sargent received, and of course the same as his AlphaTauri teammate Yuki Tsunoda. So there are the highest paid drivers in Formula 1, and then a rough idea of what some of the other drivers further down the grid are starting to earn. Is there anybody getting dramatically underpaid in Formula 1? Let us know in the comments section below. Of course, who's getting overpaid as well? We'd love to hear about that. And remember, hit subscribe to stick with us here on the YouTube channel for the whole of the season, and gpfans.com and GPFans Global for all your latest Formula 1 news.